Bar Talk at Gene's Place.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back to Bar Talk.
Welcome to Bar Talk. Kind of a rough night of weather out there last night, huh? We got, 4 or 5 inches of snow out there this morning.
And it's almost like it was like a build-up for the Powerball.
Yeah. Did anybody win?
I don't know. I didn't check yet.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I didn't play. So.
I was so tempted because I was there getting gas and some food to like head home for the night and not have to go out anymore. And I was like, I should just grab one ticket. It's $2.
$2.
And I just didn't.
I know.
I was like,
I'm the same way.
I'm not a gambler in general. Not sure why that was playing again.
Oh, okay.
We're testing some new audio. We made our new intro. You don't think it's too long, do you?
No, I think it's good. I like it. Yeah,
testing some audio on here, so
I like it. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got a lot to get into today, I think. So
yeah.
I don't know if you want to start off or
no, go right ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so I think one of the big things that's been going around is I'm sure you guys have heard whispers of it, but there's this big thing going on where Netflix is trying to buy Warner Brothers.
Yeah, and they put their bid in, and then a couple of days later, Paramount Skydance came in with they're attempting a hostile takeover.
Yes.
You heard about that? They're going directly to stockholders of Warner Brothers. And I think what I read, they were offering $30 a share cash.
Yes.
So yeah, cash buyout. So that's going to be an interesting situation. And I was reading some more dynamics about it. Word on the street through media, you can take this with a grain of salt, is that the president was not going to allow that. Most people thought that the president would not allow that Netflix deal to go through for antitrust purposes.
Right. And like the Department of Justice and all that.
Yeah, and the monopoly thing. But one of the bigger pieces I read, and again, I don't know how accurate this is, was that because CNN is a part of that deal, and we know how Donald Trump feels about CNN, right? And a lot of people feel the same way about CNN. So there was some question about whether or not that was even going to go through in the first place, even if Paramount hadn't stepped in and said, we're going to try this. So,
right.
So that's going to be an ongoing, interesting thing to watch.
It is. And when in any time, like big corporations or studios go through things like this, even though Netflix won the bid for Paramount, these kind of things it still hasn't happened. The bid just means they won their bid and now they're going to move forward.
Warner Brothers said, we're accepting that purchase offer. Yes.
So when this happens, now this could take as little as 2 years to happen. And that's like good best case scenario.
Yeah.
And then if they lose and if it ends up not working out through all the legalities and all that, Netflix will still have to pay Warner Brothers like $5 billion, which is just crazy because I think their bid was like $82 billion.
I think I put that number in here. I guess I didn't. But I think that's somewhere in that ballpark.
Somewhere around there.
A lot of money.
It's just too much money.
A stupid amount of money. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so like this is something that'll just take a really long time and it could affect Warner Brothers in the timeline of 2 years going forward. And
initially there was a lot of negative reaction from Hollywood, from the movie world. Before even the ink's not dry, it's not a done deal. So it's like it's not productive to have conversations about how it's going to change the landscape of filmmaking because you don't even know if this is going to happen.
Yeah, it's all speculation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like all the unions and SAG and even a lot of the like big movie directors are coming out. Like Christopher Nolan's meeting with Netflix this week to like bring to the table his like concerns and ideas of it, and then like of course all the unions are doing the same thing. But like you said, it's not like we can't like sit here and talk about how it is going to change the movie industry and how it's going to affect the economy and all that kind of stuff because one, it's out of our control, and two, it's going to take forever, and it may never happen.
It might not happen.
Know, this isn't a new thing. I mean, back in 2001, AOL had purchased Warner Brothers, or Time Warner, I guess at the time.
It was Time Warner at the time, correct?
So and then AOL went under, and then they were pulled back out of that deal, or that contract,
right? And and I think, and I get it. I kind of understand enough of the landscape to say that I understand why directors and actors and filmmaking companies that are direct to the movie theater world would be concerned because it's Netflix and it's a streaming platform, and they have adopted in a lot of cases stuff that's in the theater for a week or two, and then it goes directly to streaming. Right. And so your AMC's and those companies that own the theaters are concerned about what it might do to their revenue stream and that landscape. So I understand it, but like we've talked about this a number of times on here about the landscape has changed dramatically with what streaming has done.
Right.
And I think that was one of the things I read was there's a lot of inconsistency with how the film companies, what their time frame is to bring stuff to streaming.
Right.
It's not the same. It used to be, 6-7 years ago, it was like, okay, it's going to be in the theaters for X amount of time, and then we'll drop it on streaming. And now it's just kind of like, I don't even know if there's any rhyme or reason to how they do it.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because when you think back, like you said, like even before Netflix and like before COVID and all that stuff, you saw a movie in the theater and it was there for a while. And then a lot of the times, if you had these like smaller like discount theaters, they would go to those afterwards.
Yep.
And then usually anywhere from 3 to 6 months, you had to wait for like a physical release, and usually about 2 to 3 months for a streaming release on select platforms.
Right.
And then a lot of people have talked about how COVID had a huge effect on this whole part of the industry because streaming got a lot more popular during COVID because everyone was working from home, shut in, and life kind of changed at that point. So like the whole streaming thing has become like life now. That is the norm. Like,
from a consumer standpoint, that's the expectation.
Yeah.
So
like
it just like any other business where you offer a product or a service to a customer, you've got to adapt to what those trends look like. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast,
Yeah, and when you have someone like Netflix who has a lot of originals, and because stuff comes out so quickly, their target audience is like the second screen audience. They know that these people are sitting at home. They know these people have phones and kids and pets and home jobs and all these things, and it's a distraction so that most of the people can binge or stream something without paying attention half the time. So like they know. And that's why the quality of things has dropped, and that's why like stories are very similar, characters are written the same way. We get a lot of these like repeats, remakes, prequels, sequels, reboots of just all these things that are just And
again, but you're giving the customer what the customer wants, right?
And most of the time people don't care,
Right.
And and like cinephiles are a very small part of the population. So like, yes, it's going to upset that group of people. But at the same time, movie theaters aren't going away.
Yeah,
that's not gonna ever really die.
And we don't like we said, we don't know what this is even going to look like.
Exactly.
So it's
and even on the Warner Brothers side, all of their IPs and things, like it's not like Netflix isn't going to own like DC or Lord of the Rings or anything like that.
Right.
They're gonna have the rights to those IPs. It's
just
to like
how
create their own things
and how they determine. Or it's their decision how they bring it to the consumer.
Exactly.
Like the platforms that they and when and how and all of that stuff.
Exactly. So, it's not a bad thing. It's really not a horrible thing. It has its negatives for sure.
Yeah, and it's like anything else. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens because there are a lot of things at play in that whole deal. So. It'll be something to watch.
Yeah, and like Paramount and Skydance have come together now too. So like they own Skydance, I think, or something.
Correct.
Or
they're called Paramount Skydance. That's
right,
the name of the corporation now, right? So, and they own a ton of original material, like, because of the Paramount Studios. So
and that's the thing. Like when you look at like since COVID, all these streaming services have come out with tons of original content at this point.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a thing beforehand.
No, you're right.
Not really.
No, most of the original, like pre-COVID, most of the original material was shows, and a lot of that was driven by Netflix. Now, Paramount has their thing. Obviously, Yellowstone was humongously important to that growth of their original material. But and they still pretty much focus on shows versus movies, because they have a huge library of movies that they can
just put
out there to stream anyway.
So many Paramount pictures.
Yes,
till for the last
it's a massive library, right?
And then like Netflix, and here's the good part of it is like Netflix has presented opportunities to filmmakers and studios that may have never gotten made.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
Even Martin Scorsese, like with The Irishman. Like, he got a Netflix movie made that probably would have never got made at this point in time. Or David Fincher got The Killer made. Like he's a big historical visionary and
so it's not all negative.
It's not all negative,
right?
And then like with this agreement, if it does go through, Netflix does have to push things a little forward and actually like agree to a longer theater release.
And I think that's going to be the real thing.
And they also want to be able to qualify for like Oscar season and all that stuff.
Yes. So when things get released, is going to be important.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like any industry. Like I just watched the Game Awards Thursday night, and like,
oh, did you?
People like, I guess people that aren't in the gaming world don't realize that stuff is just as big as movies and sports. Like
it is.
That award show is just like the Oscars. It's
is
crazy.
it really?
Yeah, wow. It's like 4 hours.
I mean, I'm not in that world, but I do understand. I get it. I understand the landscape of the money that's involved and like how all that. Yeah, it's crazy.
It was really cool though. Last episode when I mentioned that indie game, that Expedition 33, they swept the awards.
Did they?
They're a small French company, and they won 9 awards, and they got Game of the Year.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, so they beat all of these giant, like Titan studios that made these massive games over the last year.
Yeah.
And they were a team of like 20 people or something.
That's awesome.
They're actually a sub group of employees that were originally at Ubisoft.
Okay.
And they made their own game, and that just shows you right there, movie games, no matter what you're talking about, there is success in there if you care about the art and the product and what you're trying to bring to the customer.
I think it's it's like how a lot of it becomes how do you get it out there?
Yeah.
How do you market it? How do you deliver it to the customer? And that's where there are still people out there that are distributing, that want to distribute quality product to the customer and are willing to give some of that creative license to people to do that. Not everything is like, oh, sorry, you got to do it our way or you're not doing it.
Right.
I think we get lost in, because generally speaking, in a lot of like the mega movies and all that stuff, it's like, the creative part of it is sort of like
gets kind of overshadowed by all the money and the celebrities involved, and and you got all these big wigs up at the top making the final decisions on every little thing,
who don't understand the creative process at all.
Yeah,
right. They have nothing. That's not their thing.
Exactly.
It's about how do we generate.
Because half the time
revenue.
it's like, hey, we gave you this amount of money to make this movie for us.
Yep.
So really,
we'll be the ones that are going to decide how and when and all that it gets distributed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy. So will Netflix get Warner Brothers? We don't know.
We'll see.
But I think it's headed in the right direction for the most part. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So what did you have today?
So have you I know we've talked a little bit on here about some of the stuff that's gone on astronomically and from a space standpoint. You heard any of this stuff that's going on with some of these solar flare activity?
I saw a little bit, yeah.
Are you familiar with what's it called? The Carrington event? I believe was like one of the biggest solar flare things that happened in the world. I think it was like 1859.
Okay. I'm not familiar, but I did see a video. Like I was scrolling YouTube and I saw a thumbnail about it.
Okay. Yeah. I think it was in 1859. A solar flare occurred, and which I'm not a scientist, but it creates like this energy. And at that time, telegraph was a big way that people communicated. It like knocked out telegraph service throughout pretty much the entire United States. It was pretty wild. So apparently there's some activity that's going on the sun right now where some scientists are talking about how this could be like really a big deal.
Like affecting our
like it
planet,
could
our
like
universe.
power, telephones, cell phone,
That's crazy.
all that, internet, all that kind of stuff. Because if you think about all the ways that we're connected today versus we were, versus 150 years ago, kind of
because
crazy.
now like the world's just fully connected.
Right.
And
all that stuff's floating around out there through satellites and what have you.
Right.
It's pretty crazy stuff.
Isn't it kind of strange? And I know we don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but like,
well, we might.
3i Atlas was like going behind the sun just about a month or so ago.
Yeah, and
like now all of a sudden,
I literally just read about this. I don't know, a week and a half ago, and is that a coincidence?
Maybe I don't know.
Maybe I don't know.
Who knows? I mean, like we don't know how close that thing was to the sun or what it could withstand being that close to the sun.
Right.
We don't
That's
know.
True.
We don't know anything about it really.
Exactly.
But the timing's weird. The whole last year, just about outside of our planet in general, has been really crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the most activity we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
That's been revealed to the public and like keeping constant daily updates on what's happening scientifically and,
Yeah. So, I was reading about that and I know you're interested in that kind of thing. And I was just curious if you'd heard about that.
I thought I saw something about it. Like it could also cause like earth like events too.
Yeah.
Like earthquakes and stuff and kind of any seismic
tidal waves and what have you. Right. Yeah.
I'm going to look into that now because now I'm interested.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Somehow they're able to tell that there's like this activity that's going on the sun that's exhibiting these behaviors that would create these solar flares. Apparently it's not uncommon for that to happen.
Right.
But it's whatever this activity is that's going on apparently could lead to something way bigger than what is considered normal.
Okay. And I saw something about I don't know if this has to do with it, but it would cause or affect something with the planetary alignment or something.
Yes, there's some discussion about that too.
Yeah, that's wild.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Life's crazy.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy.
It's just so like living in today's world, like you just, even when you were a kid, you just don't think about this kind of stuff. And then like when you start hearing all these things and, you already deal with like the day to day, like government, politics, like just everything that's going on in the world, wars, whatever. Yeah. And then you hear about this kind of stuff that's just like way bigger than we are and completely out of our control.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's nothing anybody can do about it. Right. It's going to be what it's going to be. But yeah,
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And I also, even because we've talked about this before, but it's just like still astonishing, even in this day and age, that we do and we're lucky to have like these people out there that are furthering their education and even learning things beyond what they have known their whole careers, and like, maybe not protecting us, but like at least keeping us up to speed on what's happening with our planet and outside of it. And, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. It really is. You're right. Yeah.
Since before we move on, did you see that they are possibly looking towards shutting down Roblox?
I did not hear about that. Really?
There was whisper around the Game Awards because there was just so much
like full on just shutting down.
I think there's some kind of legal thing going on, and there's some like higher ups. I think there's some kind of case that's supposed to be happening soon because there's so much evidence out there, and like we've talked about before, a lot of YouTube is a cause of that because of all these content creators covering all these cases of people that have been affected by that. And I think they're headed towards a possible shutdown. Yeah,
I had read that apparently the FBI is now looking into the 764 group. They've got 375 individuals that they are targeting as part of their investigation into this. So yeah, maybe all the conversation that's been going on about this thing is actually hitting home with some people, which is a good thing.
That's great,
in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, like that goes with like we've talked about how you don't just need like major news channels and things covering these kind of stories, which half the time you don't hear about on the major news.
Right.
And you get more information, whether you're sitting on a podcast and like interviewing someone or like making content videos about things that are happening and that people need to know about. And then YouTube has reached so many people and other services as well. But it's just done, it's had such a positive impact on all of these kinds of things, getting the word out there and revealing all of the bad things that need to be talked about.
I couldn't agree more. And I think that's, and it's awesome that people are concerned enough about it to continue to talk about it, right, and let it get traction.
Yeah.
And again, like we've said on here from the beginning, it's like, it's up to you to do your research. Right. And you know, we don't sit here and say we're experts or we know everything about anything in particular. That's not the case, but it's just to try to present information out there to make people think. And if you think that the stuff that we're talking about is disturbing or upsetting, or you're talking about the safety of kids, minors, then do your research. And if you're passionate about it, then talk about it. Talk about it with your family, your friends, anybody who has kids needs to know about this. I think that's the biggest thing,
right?
Is like, hey, this stuff is actually going on out there, and take the necessary steps to protect your children.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all.
And that actually segues right into my next topic.
Okay.
So forgive me because I already am drawing a blank on the name, but there's this documentary on, I want to say it's Netflix, but don't quote me on it. But it's essentially about some children, some parents that left their children in cars and died.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it.
I can't remember the name of it either. But so before you get into that, this has become, and it was maybe around COVID time, 2020, 2021, it became like the number of times that this kind of thing was happening just like grew exponentially, where it's just like it just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because we talked about this on a recent episode where we were talking about car prices and all these things about, there's this sensor that lets you know you left your kid in the backseat or whatever. But it seemed to rise exponentially, and as a parent, obviously I don't have little kids anymore, but it was just one of those things where that just never, like, how do you not know your child's in the backseat of your car?
Right.
I mean, I rode around with kids in the back seat. They're there.
Right.
Because they're not quiet, usually.
Yeah. And you would think nowadays, with kids always having an iPad on them, or a phone or something, then you definitely know your children are in the back seat.
Yeah.
Because usually they have the sound playing, or
Yeah. Or you handed them the iPad before you took off to go wherever you're going.
Yeah, and like before, like if you don't know anything about this, so it's not people purposely leaving their children in the car.
Right.
This is something that has happened. It's been studied psychologically, and to put it into perspective, like say like, how there's a lot of tasks throughout the day you just kind of do mindlessly.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you have that feeling. It's like you drove to work, but it's like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
You ever have that where you just zone out?
Yeah.
So it's essentially that psychological part of it.
That happens when I walk from the living room to the kitchen sometimes. Right. What did I come in here? Oh, let me get a beer anyway.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, and like this one couple, for example, they had left their child in the car. They were doing something, and just forgot about him. And the child, passed.
Yeah, because it's summertime,
and
it's
hot.
Inside the car. It's 150
it's
degrees.
Usually a lot harder than it is outside.
Whatever. Yeah. Whatever the temperature is.
And it was that, like, the person that had interviewed, I think it was the father that had let it happen. And, of course, he went through this whole, like, blaming process and grieving and just, like,
sure.
Even with his wife, was like, I don't even know. He's like, you can't forgive me. Like, I did this to us. Like, I shouldn't be like, why would you want to be with me? At
I
this
can't
point?
even imagine. I can't.
And then also still having other children together.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
And she was like, it wasn't your fault. Like it was an accident. Like these things happen. Like, and they ended up back together and got through it. But it's a really heartbreaking documentary to watch. And these psychologists that studied were like, it's just, unfortunately, it's one of those things. And there were multiple cases where in different scenarios, this kind of stuff happened. I won't spoil all of it, but it is just like that part of your brain. It's like if you're at the gas pump and like some people will like put the pump in and sit in their car and then like just drive away.
Dude, I was
either rip the pump out.
I was at the gas station like a month ago, right?
Yeah.
And I'm pumping gas and I see this guy. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Like he's pumping the gas. He goes inside, either, I don't know, buy a lottery ticket, whatever. Comes back out, just gets in his car. And everybody's like, I'm watching this happen in real life. I'm like, oh my God, this is, yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. And
it wasn't, he didn't, the good part was it wasn't like he got too far where it like ripped the hose off the pump or anything.
The breakaway didn't come loose.
Right.
Okay.
It just like the nozzle popped out of his car because some guy was yelling at him.
Oh, so it just fell.
Yeah,
out.
it just fell.
Okay.
Right. It wasn't like a mass. It could have been way worse had somebody else not been paying attention.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. So at gas stations, with your pump, you got your hose and your gun. There's a swivel on the hose for the gun to turn, and then up at the top, most people don't probably notice this, but at the top of the hose where it hangs down from the top of the tank, there is this thing called a breakaway.
Yep.
And when you pull on the hose, there's this like thick cord that comes out.
Yes.
And it's so that if a car does leave the dispenser in their tank, it will break away from the pump and you will drive away with the hose. But it's a safety thing for the gas station.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. The thing that you were talking about with the rise in these cases of people accidentally leaving their kids in a vehicle, and you were talking about that one husband and wife and that him blaming himself, and it's like, and that's the thing too, when couples lose children, regardless of what the circumstances are, and especially if it's an accident, like, but even regardless of that, that is just like devastating on couples. It's like one of them tends to just go into this complete tailspin, which I understand. Like I said, I can't even imagine like losing a child. That's, they always say a parent should never bury their child.
Right.
And I just cannot imagine the grief and if it was an accident situation where, whether a car accident or one of these situations where
something you could have prevented,
where you feel like you could have prevented
Right.
it and you're now feeling very guilty, and that's just got to be
I can't even imagine
devastating.
mentally and physically what that does to you.
Yeah, I agree.
Knowing that you both brought someone into this world and then you were the reason they're gone.
Yeah.
Essentially, even though it was an accident.
Right. Yeah, I can't.
But I also think it's just like the world's just so full of distractions.
Yeah,
in
that's
modern age.
That's an interesting point to bring up. Is like, and I haven't done enough research or looked at that particular situation or those types of situations in depth, but I'd just be curious to see like what are the circumstances around how that kind of things happen, because like you said, the distractions, especially, everybody's got the phone and it's like everybody's always on their phone, right? Most people can't drive 2 minutes to the grocery store without checking the phone.
Yeah.
Right. Whether, whatever, text, social media, whatever it is, people can't do that. It's just like so addictive to people, right? That's all part of the predictive programming that we've been exposed to, right? Of just, you've got to check, you got to know the latest update, you got to know who checked your Instagram post or liked your picture on Facebook, and it's like, who gives a shit? But a lot of people really do care.
And honestly, I kind of envy the people out there that stay disconnected from that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, so for the other day, I was ringing this guy out who walked up. He was a younger guy. He's probably 20 years old. I think he might have been he wasn't Amish, but he was
Mennonite?
probably Mennonite or
Okay.
something.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a coffee and he had a newspaper because we sell newspapers.
No kidding.
And I rang out the newspaper and the drink, and I asked for his Advantage card and stuff. And
yeah.
he's like, "Oh no," he's like, I'll take one. And then I was like, "Oh yeah, you just have to go on and sign up on the app." And he was like, "Oh, never mind, I don't have a phone." And I was like, "Oh, okay, no problem." And like he left and he went and sat down, and was reading newspaper and had his coffee, and I was like, "Man, like that kid's got like a simple life, like a normal life."
What does a newspaper cost these days?
Like I don't know, it's like $1 or $2 or something like that.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, it was like 25 cents.
I was gonna say it's probably a quarter or something.
Yeah, and everybody got them. I remember, it was like everybody had the subscription to come in, fill it out, come in the mail.
Yeah.
Your daily newspaper, your Sunday paper was all your ads and coupons, and it was like a big comics and like the big deal. But yeah, it's that print media has really died.
Yeah, I wonder
in a lot of ways.
I wonder how the
died
print
off.
media does now, because I know there's
Well,
still
a lot
papers,
of them have
I
just.
mean,
A lot of them are just gone. Yeah.
it's crazy. Like local papers are still like selling.
Really?
I don't know how. But,
Interesting.
Like I don't know if the Vindicator is still a thing or.
I don't either.
Do you guys still get a paper?
No.
No.
I haven't got
Does
a
anyone
paper.
really get paper?
Huh?
Do people still get paper?
I mean, I think so. I honestly
I couldn't tell you the last time I saw someone driving around throwing papers out.
I don't know either. I don't know if people still get papers.
But the fact that like you go out to a gas station and like they have them,
Which is
like
that's
it's just
wild.
crazy.
That's wild.
Or like at PNS, like they had the moving out.
Oh, the moving out
newspapers for the
Yeah,
truck world.
Which that dude
Which they
like
still delivered.
he gave them away for free. It wasn't like they were
Yeah.
paying for them. It was like,
Right.
how are you like what?
Dropping off a box every month.
Yeah.
People are using it for like wrapping paper and like stuffing boxes.
Yeah, weird.
I don't know. I'd like to look. I'm going to look into that and see how that whole world's going. Because
I just remember
magazines are still sold at every.
There are still
place,
magazines out there. Yeah. I just remember when the kids were younger, like 8-10 years old, like they were old enough to like ride their bike uptown when I lived in Columbiana.
Right.
And they just loved it. Like I'd give them $1 and just, or $2, you can get some candy or whatever. Just go to they're like in Columbiana, they used to have like a little newspaper store on Main Street.
Okay.
And they'd ride their bike up there and get me a Sunday paper.
Nice.
And that was not that long ago. I'm talking
not really.
like maybe, like 20 years ago.
20 years ago?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even like I remember I would, in the center of Canfield, we had, you know where the Circle is?
Yeah.
My buddies and I would get off school, we'd ride our bikes or skate up to like, we had an IGA up there at one point.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And right next door, they had this Buckeye's Pharmacy and this little pizza shop.
Yep.
We'd go like buy a soda, get like a newspaper or magazine,
Candy.
and then get candy and go get a pizza.
Yeah.
And then ride back home.
Yeah.
And it's like that world is also
That
just kind of
world is gone. Yeah. I remember my cousins, when I was a kid growing up in Western Pennsylvania, they lived in Monaca, and we would go over there, and they had this little, and my dad would give us like $1, which is crazy, right? And they had this little store, it's just like a little convenience store, and they sold the penny candy. Like they had a whole row of all this, and you could get like crap,
just fill up
like
a bag,
shit ton of candy for $1.
Yeah.
It's like bags. We would come back with like bags of it. It's like $1.
You can't get any candy for $1.
You can't get no.
I think
No,
a
not
candy
at all.
bar is like $2.50.
Right.
Like at a gas station.
This was
or
like
grocery
you
store.
could get those the atomic fireballs and jawbreakers
Lemon
and
Heads.
all that kind of crap. Individual, right?
Right.
So it's like
It's like
you
by the
just
pound,
pick
wasn't
out
it?
this. I want a Tootsie Roll. I want a Cowtail. I want whatever. That was so friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's cool. They have stores like that now. Like they're new candy stores.
Yeah, they're like it's like the vintage idea, right?
Yeah,
There's one in
essentially.
Girard, I think.
There's also one in the Southern Park Mall.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, it's called what's it called? It's not Shelby's. It's something like that.
Okay.
But it's like a bright candy store. It looks kind of old.
Yeah.
And they have all those containers full of like chocolates and candies and everything.
Yeah.
And you essentially just grab a bag and then fill it up, and then they just price it based off of how much it weighs.
Yeah.
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 And it's really cool.
Yeah.
They sell a lot of cool stuff. in
It's
there.
like the good old days, man. That was like always so cool.
And it's cool to
do
see
that
like we
stuff.
still have stuff kind of like that.
Yeah, yeah.
They try to bring some kind of retro things back. Like I know that arcade in Girard does really well.
Yeah, they do.
Pastimes or something.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I've always wanted to go check that out.
They actually host bingo there now too.
Do they?
Yeah.
I always remember as a kid when I was probably like 13, 14 years old when I've talked about it on here when we used to go to the baseball card shop and next to it was the arcade.
Nice.
So it was like a perfect 2-for-1 stop. You ride your bike down there, look at baseball cards, buy a pack of baseball cards, and then go in the arcade, and that was so awesome.
I remember this was probably like 2010 maybe was the last time something like this, like something we did like this, but we were staying up in Geneva on the lake with our dad and for the week. It was like when they have the strip open for the summer, which is so awesome.
That place is awesome. That's awesome so when that strip is open. Yeah.
And like little shops, gift shops, and like they got like mini golf up there.
Yeah.
They got the whole beach and the lake and everything. They always have bands playing and stuff. It's so cool. Which we actually played a show up there at one of the bars one year, long time ago.
Really?
Yeah, it was really cool.
I think now that you say that, I think I remember that. Yeah.
It was like one of the ones, they have like this bar that goes underground. Like you walk down these stairs and it's like underneath this building, and it's pretty cool. But we were staying up there for the week, and it was so cool because we would like leave the beach house. We'd ride our bikes all the way down to the strip, park your bikes outside the arcade, and like we'd have a drink. And like they have all the gates open, so like the wind's blowing through the arcade.
And you could walk that whole area.
Yeah,
too.
you can walk the whole
just
area.
Walk your bike up and then just
go
walk to all those different
shops. And we're playing
shops.
Pool. We're playing like
air
ski
hockey,
ball, air hockey,
ski ball, all that stuff.
all day long.
Yeah.
It was just so fun.
So freaking
and then
cool.
walk down and play mini golf, and like I miss stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually went up to, the Sports World in Boardman.
Yeah.
Alexis didn't want
literally like the only mini golf we have.
Only one around
the
here.
The only one. That's it.
We went up there and played mini golf, which was super fun.
It is.
I haven't done it in a long time.
Yeah, it is fun.
And we actually even did the go-karts too.
The go-karts are freaking
so
awesome.
Fun.
So fun. Yeah, they got the batting cages there still.
Yeah, they still got the batting
cages. And then they have the whole arcade and all that, like the claw machine and all that wild shit inside.
Really fun still.
But yeah, that's like literally the only mini golf we have.
Yeah. Speaking of go-karts, I don't know if it's open yet, but they're doing like a high octane adult go-karts thing around here. That's supposed to open, I think, this spring.
That sounds really potentially. Not that I'm against it.
Yeah.
I'm all for speed and danger.
Yes.
At times, in a controlled environment.
Sure.
But adults.
Yeah.
Speed, danger.
Because essentially, like
potentially
you have to
combination.
wear helmets.
Oh,
you got like padded cages.
Oh God.
So like it's gonna be
like, crashing into other people is not off the table.
Doesn't sound like it. Yeah. I would imagine it's got to be somewhat controlled though.
It would have
even
to be.
as an adult, like adult thing. It's got to be because people are gonna be insane.
Just
I think it has to. I think it's through Quaker Steak.
Really?
I think they're like part of hosting it or something like that.
I mean that's cool. It's a cool
idea. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Because they essentially go a lot faster than those little ones that you go to the sports world.
You got the pedal to the floor. You're going.
Those are like what
17 miles an hour or whatever it is. And it's like, and then every now and then you get the one that somebody like
turned up a little bit.
Tuned that lawnmower engine up just a little bit more, and you're like, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. Going like 18, 20 miles an hour.
Just smoking people's asses.
You like go around those corners and you start drifting a little bit.
Drifting, yeah.
Yeah, so fun.
Yeah. So, yeah. Speaking of like adults and stupid shit that can happen, have you ever done the axe throwing thing?
No, I've always wanted to.
Yeah, so we have one in the area. We did it once. But like here's the crazy part about it is to me, they have a bar in there.
That seems like a mix
like
of madness.
A bad idea, right? But
it seems like a recipe for disaster.
Exactly. But it's really fun. It is like the
it has to be somewhat controlled too.
Well, it is like they have like it's almost like a batting cage.
Okay.
Like it's so
you have like your
like
own
a
lane.
stall. It's like a lane, and it's they have like this heavy duty wire fencing, almost like chain link in between each one. So it's not like you couldn't kill anybody in the lane next to you.
Right.
You could kill somebody in your own lane, I suppose, right?
I mean, if you like went back and like let go of your axe.
Or you had, too many beers.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But it is fun. It's a lot of fun, actually.
That sounds awesome, though.
It is. It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I would try that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you should check
We'll
it out.
have to do that.
Yeah, it's fun. It is fun. Yeah. So, have you Have you seen anything? This is like totally shifting gears. About the studies that some of these scientists are doing on these feral dogs around the Chernobyl
No.
site. Yeah. So you're familiar with the Chernobyl nuclear reactor explosion in 1986, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that area, it's still, what am I trying to say? Blocked off to normal, people can't go in there because of the radiation so high. They have a name for it. It's like, I can't remember what it's called, but no entry zone or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so apparently, all the people either died or evacuated the area when this took place. And then years later, it's just like a ghost town, right? But there are these feral dogs that live inside this zone.
Oh, okay.
That's like a no-go zone for people. And so they've been doing tests on them, genetic testing, and they're looking at all these like genetic, I don't know what the right term would be. I don't want to say defects because
mutations?
Genetic mutations that they have versus like normal dogs that are only, also feral dogs. I'm not talking about pet dogs, right? Not talking about that, but feral dogs that are, 10 miles away, or in some cases they're just looking at other feral dog populations, looking at these like crazy mutations that they've gone through and how they've adapted through that
And like lived through it.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it is wild. Yeah,
It kind of makes me think about, because it's fiction, but it's also like not far-fetched, but like the Fallout games.
yeah,
Like those are all about like coming out after the nuclear disaster
nuclear fallout,
and like experiencing like
right,
mutated animals, essentially what humans that might have survived.
yeah,
Like that's a scary thought.
yeah.
You know,
Did you watch that?
the show.
The show.
Oh my God, it was so good.
Isn't that crazy?
Season 2 starts in
Oh, I didn't know they were
couple
having.
days.
I didn't know they were having another season.
yeah.
I'm sorry. You're talking about Fallout.
Yes. What are you talking about?
I was talking about Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
Yeah.
No, that's a standalone one series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes, the Fallout thing I haven't watched yet. I've heard it's really, really good.
You would like it.
That's
It is very good.
Yeah. Cody said the same thing to me. He's like, you should check it out.
Regardless, you know anything about the game or not.
And I
you
do, yeah.
not need to know.
Yeah.
Like mom could watch it.
Yeah.
It's a really good show.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And I think it's one of the better adaptations they've done. And it just puts you in that world, of like what life was, what it is now, and like what are people doing to survive it. And it's it's crazy. And like thinking about mutated animals, like to think about like if a dog like grew in size or like grew another head or like
extra legs or tails
or like a cockroach grew like 10 sizes, it's just like, it's crazy
It's
to
crazy.
think about.
Yeah. Yeah, that Chernobyl show, I think that was HBO, right? That did that series? Or that,
actually, Craig Mazin, who did The Last of Us. Made that.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that show was like crazy. Because, I mean, that was that when that happened was 1986, so height of the Cold War. And then, and I don't know how historically accurate everything was presented in the show.
Right.
Because they kind of gave it a spin, which is totally fair. Like the Soviet Union was just doing all kinds of nefarious stuff. Not surprising.
No.
Right. We should
We've
expect
talked about them before.
Yeah. You'd expect that they don't give a shit about the fact that they just killed 40,000 people.
Yeah.
Essentially is what's going to happen. And then they just like, I mean, that explosion happened and those people were like for 48 hours unsure of what was actually going on and still okay, close your apartment windows and doors, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
No, you're not. And yeah.
And then all the guys I think the most like nerve-wracking sequence of that show is pretty early on when they're all inside the reactor trying to shut everything down.
When they know that there's a meltdown happening and they're like scrambling and they're calling people like, what do we do? And it's like, yeah, and they're like going through that whole shutdown process, and it's like that point it's too late.
Yeah,
there's nothing they could do. Right,
but they're there and they're trying to maintain it. And
they're wearing their masks and their hazmat.
They're all
going to
die.
You're going to die. Yeah, you're all going to die.
It's horrible.
Yeah, that was pretty.
And I think
wild.
that show does. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of like film regarding that kind of the Chernobyl thing.
There was a movie that came out I've seen it. Don't ask me the name of it because I will not remember. But it was kind of like one of those, like, what do they call the ones that like Blair Witch is like that?
Oh, like a found footage.
Yeah, it was like a found footage kind of thing
Documentary
of this
thing.
group that like goes there and they're like, okay, we're gonna go and
that
we're gonna go
sounds
inside this area we're not allowed in, and we're gonna film. And there were like all these like mutated zombie type
okay.
creatures and stuff. I can't remember the
I'll have to look that
name
up.
of
That
it.
sounds
There is 8. That's the only movie that I'm aware of
Okay.
that's out there.
But yeah, to like for HBO to make like a pretty grounded, realistic spin on that event.
Yeah,
I watching
really
it made
good
me
show.
feel like that's what happened, you know?
yeah, they did it. It was really well done.
Yeah.
Really well done. Yeah.
Yeah, really good. I enjoyed that. I'll probably rewatch that one.
Yeah, that was really good. So yeah, I'm gonna have to check out Fallout. What platform is that on?
Prime.
Prime. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Season 2 comes out December 17th, I believe.
Okay.
So a few days.
Watched Eddington last night.
Oh my God. Tell me about it.
I liked it. Your mom didn't.
She
like
didn't like it. She told
Like
me.
here's like the final credits are coming on. You know when somebody goes, "There's 2.5 hours of my life I don't get back." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Did she
Like,
say that?
She did.
Come on,
I
Mom.
don't want to say I threw her under the bus. Well, she's going to listen to this, so
Yep.
she'll know that I threw her under the bus. But yeah, I mean, I will say that probably the first hour is a little bit slow,
Sure.
and there's some weird interactions that are going on, like the whole Joe Cross Garcia interactions. You know, that's Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
It's like some weird, like the whole thing about the masks and everything.
Yeah.
And like, but it brings all that back.
Doesn't it though?
It brought all of that COVID shit back.
It
where
does.
it's like, you can't come in here because you don't have a mask. And it's like this old dude, right? And he's
Yeah.
like, I can't breathe. I have this or that. And sheriff has to go and like let him in. And then he walks in and he doesn't have a mask on. And then the mayor and it like, you're just like, man, that was just like such
Like that's the kind of shit that was happening.
a fucked up time when all that was
Right?
going on. But
It's like going to the grocery store.
yeah, it brought all that back. But yeah, so the first hour or so it was slow, but when but it started to heat up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You know, that whole they get the noise complaint at the mayor's house.
Yeah.
And he shows up and he freaking like that was the weirdest part was to me of the movie, like that really stood out. The mayor got played by Pascal, like slaps, open hand slaps
Yeah.
twice the sheriff. And I'm like, okay, that was weird. Like, and I'm like, he's going to pop off. Like, I thought
was
he was
waiting for it.
I thought he was going to pop off right then.
I did too.
Like, I thought he was just going
The
to,
tension went for so long.
yeah. And then he just walks away and he's walking away and I'm going, you can tell, it's like, you could tell, you could see it in his face. You could tell it in the music. You're like this, like, and you're getting a little bit of that anxiety where you're like, you're pissed off too for him.
Right.
Like this guy just publicly humiliated you in front of all these people that are at this party, right?
Yeah.
Which weren't supposed to have, right?
Right.
Right. And the mayor was all about the whole masking and no
Yes.
gathering and 6 feet and all this crap. And he walks back to his truck and I'm going, is he going to just like get in and just like drive through the guy's house or whatever? And then what happens, and I don't want to ruin for anyone who hasn't watched it, but then what happens after that was just crazy.
From that point on.
From that point
when that thing happens,
to the end.
is just madness.
And the one thing, like the very ending when he goes into that gun shop and comes out with that crazy
The M60.
and he's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
blows that one
Dude's leg off. Oh my God.
And then the guy like runs up, and then he survives all of that.
Yeah.
And he's the mayor.
Right.
Now he's the mayor.
Now he's the mayor.
He's completely incapacitated in a wheelchair, can't speak,
Can't even take care of himself.
can't take care of himself. It was just like, I
couldn't even believe he survived.
right. I was like, there's
was
no
like,
way he's
holy
going to
shit.
live. Yeah. I really liked it. I thought it was really good.
I thought it was good because like most of that movie, because it was also a small town, you know,
Yeah.
out in, was it New Mexico?
New Mexico. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Eddington, New Mexico. Mm-hmm. And we're a fairly small town,
Yeah,
I guess.
probably similar population.
Sure. And that's a southwestern town out west in the country, and it's like they have their whole persona that they have, and it's like even when something like COVID hadn't even reached their town yet.
Correct. Right.
But it was all of the social media, all the news, all the events that were happening. Like I think they talked about George Floyd too.
Yeah, the Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
You had all these white people out there doing like protests.
Yeah.
I say all small town. There's like 30 people there. Right.
All those like kids.
But creating chaos and issues
and
for other
panic
citizens
and riots
stuff.
for absolutely no reason.
Right.
You know, in a town where nothing's happening.
Right.
And like like questioning like the one black police officer and like why is he standing with them? And
yes, exactly.
I always forget his name. The kid from Yellowstone.
Oh, the guy that plays Casey. Yeah,
he was in it too. Oh
yes,
my God,
he was.
that was crazy too.
Yes.
I felt bad for him in that movie.
Yeah, because he got blown up. But yeah, it was like it was crazy how it escalated so fast, like wildly escalated. It wasn't like just sort of this, oh, okay, and then this happens. It was like just insanity.
And the whole thing with Emma Stone's character, with his wife, how she just kind of like
goes off with this like cult guy and leaves her husband, and she was just that
was all strange. The whole relationship was weird.
Yes,
how he was also like having people at the station buy her sculptures.
Yeah,
And and I don't know if that was a way to help support her and like keep her like in a good mindset because of what she went through previously.
Right. And her mom
was bad.
Was into all of the conspiracy theory things and looking, all the questions that everybody was asking at that point in time. But her mom was just kind of really like feeding that stuff to her. So there was a lot going on.
But overall, it just like shows that like divide that happened between everyone.
Yeah, it did.
And like between law enforcement and government officials and people and friends and family. And it's just like it put me right back in that world for like a couple hours.
It did. It did. The opening scene where he's literally sitting out in his truck in the middle of the desert, and these sheriffs from the
other county.
Yeah, they were county sheriffs. He was a county sheriff, but they were apparently there was something to do with Indian land and the area that they
like the reservation.
Yeah, and so these other officers and they roll up on him
with masks.
And he's sitting in his truck by himself, and they're like, "You don't have a mask on." There's nobody in his car. Like,
he's by himself.
And I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be like that's like the opening scene."
And I thought they were gonna like do something to him.
I did too,
because he wasn't complying.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, Eddington. I feel like that was a movie that kind of flew under the radar this year.
Yeah,
but definitely worth the watch.
A lot of big actors.
Yeah, a lot of big ones.
Yeah. I liked it. I thought it was good.
Really good.
Yeah.
And I just to kind of like come back full circle with what we talked about in the beginning, how some of these movies like probably wouldn't get made if it weren't for Netflix. Mm-hmm. Train Dreams. I don't know if you've watched it.
I haven't yet, but I am going to.
But you are a Joel
Edgerton
fan, so
very much so.
But that is another movie because of what it is. I feel like a studio wouldn't greenlight that movie.
Probably not. No.
But it did so well. It's so good.
Yeah.
And it's another one. She's probably not going to like that one, but
no, those are that and anemone.
Anemone.
I got to say it really slowly. Anemone.
Anemone, I think. Something like that.
Something like that. Whatever. I'm gonna watch both of those. Those are ones that I know she won't be interested in watching. Yeah, because those are both movies that don't fit the normal mold, right?
No, they're not.
There's not a bunch of action. Nobody's, it's not people getting killed, blown up, superheroes, crazy,
No, they're
it's
just
not,
like
they're not. They're drama.
It's drama. They're essentially like character studies and like just a couple people on screen going through something for like an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah,
and it's a bit of a slow burn for both of them.
Sure.
But there's still weight to the stories there if you sit and really listen to what's happening.
Yeah. So yes, I will have watched both of those within the next 2 weeks. Yep.
Cool.
Definitely. Yeah. definitely.
Anything else you want to get into today?
I don't really think. Let me just quickly check my notes to see.
I think
if
I
there's
covered
anything.
the biggest things I wanted to talk about. I need to go back and figure out what the name of that documentary was. I also watched another really good one. Again, all the names are leaving my mind, but there was this diver one too that was on Tubi. It's about this diver that died, but I think the whole thing is crazy. But
What kind of diver? Like a oil rig diver kind of guy, or like one of those guys that does that?
like cave diving,
Oh,
like underwater.
Yeah.
It's scary.
yeah, that stuff gives me a lot of agita. Like
yeah.
that's the.
I don't have like the
diving
fear of
thing.
open water, and like
No,
we've scuba dived and or snorkeled.
Open water doesn't bother me, but being stuck underwater is scary.
And then not only being stuck underwater, but being stuck underwater in a cave where you could either get stuck.
That's even
or
worse. It's like that movie, The Descent.
Yes, right.
And you're watching those girls do their they're squeezing through these tunnels that they can barely fit through.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And the second you get injured,
I can't.
no, you're screwed.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
I've rewatched that movie from time to time.
I can watch that movie anytime.
And it's
so good. That is a great freaking movie.
That one and As Above, So Below are two of my favorites that are like.
And I feel like that the Descent really flew under the radar. That's like from like 2009.
It's early 2000.
2009, maybe 8.
It had an okay sequel.
Yeah, the sequel was okay, but the original one, because it was so different.
Right.
Right? Like you don't like now obviously you can go, hit Google or whatever and see what it's about, but
right.
You just think that these girls are just going on this trip, right? And they're into adventure, they're like a little bit dangerous stuff, so they're going to go spelunking or whatever, and you don't have any idea what's in store for them.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about it, was obviously the originality of the story, but there were some really tense moments in that.
Yeah.
Really tense moments in that movie.
Yeah, that one. I also love the what's the other one with James Franco?
Oh, 127 Hours.
Yeah. God.
Yes. That's another one.
That's a stressful movie.
That's very stressful to watch that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always see, the photo they take in The Descent of all the girls like at the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
I always see there's always these memes every once in a while, and like it'll show that picture and it's like a group of girls just like having a relaxing weekend, or like it's always something around those lines of
Girls' Cabin Weekend.
Yeah, Girls' Cabin Weekend or something. And it's like, and if you know, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is a great movie.
Another original film though, it's just like we don't get stuff like that very often.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Every once in a while something comes out of the woods though and surprises you though.
Exactly.
And I think we're still, even next year, we're still kind of for a treat for a couple movies,
Good.
Not all of them, but definitely some.
I mean, that's going to be the norm,
My most anticipated next year is The Odyssey.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that one goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be pretty awesome.
I love The Iliad and the Odyssey. I've read both of those in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Those are great.
Yeah.
So if you're into like Greek mythology, all that kind of stuff, that's definitely
it's got to be on your list. Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining in today again for Bart Talk. We're going to keep episodes coming to you. If you can, continue to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things for us to keep the show running, and take care.